Hi, Christian, Linus, welcome to BizTalk. That's my great pleasure having me today. How are you?
Thanks, Max. I'm fine. Thanks for having us.
Hi, Max. Thanks.
Thanks to coming. So let's start talking about your business. A short intro about yourself, you both guys, and after we move to pitch your idea.
Yes, so Bottle Plus is a reusable water bottle to produce sparkling water anytime and anywhere. That's the basic concept of it. And as mentioned, I'm Christian. I'm the CEO and co-founder. I have my background in environmental engineering and sustainability consulting. And now since November, I'm working full-time together with Linus on Bottle Plus.
I'm Linus. Nice to meet you, Max. Yes, I have my background in mechanical engineering, robotics, and process automation. And I'm the CTO of Bottle Plus and also working full-time since December now.
So in Switzerland, actually, every third person prefers sparkling water over still water. So they want to drink sparkling water whenever possible and also when they're on the go. However, they have various pain points in regard to this sparkling water consumption on the go. One of them is that the availability of sparkling water is limited to stores. So it's not available anytime and anywhere. Pretty quickly, if you buy a plastic bottle in a store, you have a sip, you walk around for a bit and you have another sip, then this next sip loses quite a bit of fizziness, so it's less exciting to drink. It's also not cheap. Plastic bottles, especially if you are at the railway station, you quite quickly pay a few bucks for half a liter of sparkling water. And then there's the whole sustainability aspect as well. So a lot of today's consumers, they don't want to spend money for single-use plastics, and generally they want to avoid any kind of waste that is coupled to their food and beverage consumption. And also in Switzerland, in Europe, in many parts of Europe, there's quite a high quality of local tap water available. And if you buy such a bottle in stores, often it's imported. And in Switzerland, the average transport distance is 230 kilometers until the plastic bottle is actually in the stores. So there's quite a bit of environmental impacts coupled to it, even though you would have this local tap water available. And Bottle Plus can solve all these pain points, as you can see on the right side here, and bring sparkling water on the next level. So let me show you how it actually works. The bottle comes with a detachable adapter here on the bottom that includes a small CO2 gas tank. And you have a refilling station that is sold together with the bottle and that works with commercially available standardized CO2 cylinders. So with this refilling station, you transfer the CO2 in the cylinder into the small gas tank in the bottle. Now you fill up your bottle with water. You can do that at home or anywhere else you want, as now you're free to go anywhere you want. And just by the push of a button, you can create now your own sparkling water and repeat this process up to 15 bottles. Depends a bit on the strength that you prefer, but only after these 15 bottles, you have to go back to the refilling station and refill the small gas tank in the adapter of the bottle. We have a patent pending for this unique concept with this integrated and refillable gas tank. It's also a sustainable solution. If you compare the environmental impact of sparkling water that you produce yourself to bottled sparkling water, then you are about 90% lower in environmental impacts. And even though you have acquisition costs of roughly 200 Swiss francs for the bottle and the refilling station, you reach the financial break even quite quickly, as the sparkling water production cost is only 10 to 20 cents per liter with Bottle Plus, compared to a few bucks that you would spend on bottled sparkling water. Now we have validated our product market fit with a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter, where we have acquired over 900 first customers and nearly raised 170,000 Swiss francs in non-dilutive funding, and also had quite promising marketing statistics. For example, our return on ad spend was roughly 7-1. The market is quite huge that we will enter. Globally, it's over $30 billion US, and it's also a growing market because the people don't only want to start consuming more sustainably, but also healthier. So they want to move away from sugar drinks, and instead they go to healthier alternatives, like for example sparkling water. And our competition on this sparkling water market is threefold. First, we have home carbonation devices, for example, SodaStream, but they obviously just produce sparkling water at home and not on the go. Then we have portable carbonation bottles that also produce sparkling water on the go, but they work with these single-use cartridges. So for every bottle of sparkling water, you need to use such a cartridge and afterwards dispose it again. So it's not a sustainable and also not a user-friendly solution. And then third, you have the plastic bottles. As already mentioned, they are also not sustainable and more expensive in the midterm compared to Bottle Plus. Our go-to-market strategy, we want to enter the market in Q4 2022 in the DACH region, so Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. And you want to do that in the beginning with an online store and with selected online retailers. Before then, we will hopefully, after successful launch, also enter the offline retail in Q1 2023 in Switzerland first, and then take the learnings from there and also enter the offline retail in Austria and Germany from the second quarter in 2023. Our two main customer groups are sparkling water loving people. We were able to validate this target group with our crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter. And we strongly believe that as for the Kickstarter campaign, that also after the market entry, we will be able to reach this customer group with online marketing on social media, for example. And then we have the lifestyle enthusiasts. Bottle Plus should not only provide you with sparkling water anytime and anywhere, but it should also be a lifestyle product. So people should be proud of it, should like to take it with them. And we strongly believe that for these lifestyle enthusiasts, to bring the product to them, we need to enter the offline market such that they can actually see the product and convince that it's a feature or a gadget that they actually want to buy for themselves. Let's have a look on our roadmap. As already mentioned, we did a crowdfunding campaign in autumn 2021, which was quite successful. And now to finance ourselves until the market launch and beyond, we aim to close the seed financing round until end of March 2022. It's in the range of 1.25 million Swiss francs, and it will cover various costs, but most importantly, the initial setup cost for our mass production, and also it should allow us to finance the first production batch for our mass production. In parallel, we are doing prototyping and setting up the supply chain. So in just a few weeks, we will have the next prototype iteration ready, which will be a huge step towards the final product. And until mid-May, we also want to have the product fully industrialized such that we can start first tests and mass production from June and then really ramp up the mass production from July 2022. And in order to keep up with our timeline, as already mentioned, to enter the market in the DACH region in Q4 2022. Now I've talked a lot about sparkling water. Our vision actually goes beyond sparkling water. We want to change the way that people consume beverages on the go. It should happen more sustainable, healthier, and flexible. And the key to pursue that vision is the modularity of our bottle. So this adapter here on the bottom is detachable, such that you can change the adapters. I've already told our first and current focus is the sparkling water, but then we will develop further adapters. For example, the tasty, this is an adapter to infuse taste into the water. The healthy, and adapters to add vitamins or other supplements. Or the clean, an adapter with a filter or a UV light to clean the bottle content. So with these adapters, we allow the customer to be sustainable and economical, as she doesn't need to go to the store anymore and buy single-use plastic bottles. She is also more flexible, as she can choose the adapter for the bottle base that suits her daily activity. And she is healthier as before, as she has to rely less on sugar drinks. That's it from our side. Thanks again, Max, for having us here today, and we are looking forward to enter the Q&A session.
Thank you. Thank you to both of you guys. My first question is pretty simple. There are many different, as I said, I'm not the biggest sparkling water drinker on earth, but sometimes I do. So there are different kinds of sparkling waters. How do you differentiate? I mean, how can I adjust the fizziness
Yeah, so you have this button on the adapter, and the longer you press this button, the more CO2 you actually inject into the bottle, and the fizzier the drink gets. So you can fully steer the strength of the sparkling water, and therefore also decide if you want to have it a bit less strong or really strong.
Okay, so let's talk a bit more about on the go, right? For how long lasts the fizziness? How can I use the fizz, right, to make my water sparkling, and how long does it last? For one entire day, for example?
So it's roughly 15 bottles that you can produce, but of course it depends on the strength that you want. 15 bottles is like medium strong sparkling water. If you want really strong sparkling water, then it's roughly 7 to 8 bottles that you can actually produce on the go before you have to refill it again at the refilling station.
Yeah, what about the station? I mean, you need to fill home, I presume.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a soda stream, so we will likely keep it somewhere in your kitchen.
Okay. I mean, we've been talking about your market. Why? I know it's pretty common. Dutch, which means Germany, Switzerland, and probably Netherlands and Belgium. They go side by side. You were mentioning after moving to America, for example, Latin America. What about moving entirely into Europe? Do you find any challenges in doing this?
One thing that is important for Bottle Plus is that you have a good quality of the tap water, and that's not given everywhere. So for that case, it will be very important for us to also offer an adapter to filter the water or just to clean the water. So for these countries, you might offer a solution that allows the customer to first clean the water and then produce sparkling water. But yeah, of course, it will be more challenging to enter markets for us that do not have good tap water. And of course, it's also from country to country, it's different how popular the sparkling water actually is. So we will have to choose the markets that we will attack quite carefully. And of course, we will first enter the markets that are attractive for us in regard to the tap water quality, but also in regard to the popularity of sparkling water.
The next question, what about the kind of water I can use? I already answered partially because I can use tap water. May I use any type of water? Of course, it should be a good quality of water, but may I use any kind of water from the bottle? I presume yes. And does it change the taste, the water?
It depends a bit. So certain tap waters are chlorinated. So you actually add this chemical to clean the water. It's not bad for your body, but you would just have the smell of it or the taste of it, better said. For example, in the US, they add it. So that's another challenge that we are facing for sure in these countries. Like for example, in the US, you have this tap water that has this kind of taste. But that's also, I mean, there's going on a lot, and tap water is something it's quite important for these countries, and we believe that in the coming years, the systems, or the water supply systems, will also improve, and that's of course beneficial for our company. Yeah.
But what about the material? Which kind of material are you using to create the bottle?
So the customers love stainless steel bottles. They just love stainless steel bottles, even better if they double walled or insulated. We, however, we really want to be sustainable as possible, and sustainable meaning also that we want to keep our supply chain as close to Switzerland as possible. Unfortunately, all the stainless steel bottles come out of Asia, and therefore, yeah, that's far away, long travel, and also actually, plastic is more sustainable as long as it's not single use, then more sustainable than stainless steel. So our bottle will most likely be in the beginning out of plastic, reusable plastic, obviously, or not single used, and the adapter and the lid will also be a plastic. However, it's a really big focus for us that it's a premium product, therefore nicely looking, and not a cheap thin-walled bottle.
What about any metal product? Because I mean, for me, it's very easy to see a product like aluminium, for example. So I can buy today, it can last for another 20 years, but pretty much years to come. So probably is even the shape and how it looks like maybe can be even better. Are you thinking to use something similar as well?
Of course, I mean, stainless steel or aluminium aluminium as well would be interesting as well. Of course, our modularity will allow also to change in the future. So you can also just buy another bottle body or another material. So yes, of course, we will think about offering other materials as well. But as I mentioned, it's really difficult to receive these shaped forms or bottle bodies out of metals here in Europe, because most of the production is done in the Asian market.
I mean, you were talking about people who love sparkling water and people who love to not show off, but the lifestyle, the nice one. So how do you approach the second one, where style is so important, right? Yeah, I'm drinking water more for the bottle than from the water. What's your strategy to approach these guys?
Yeah, so on the one hand, we are currently also working again on our design to make it even more appealing. We have quite a good designer here that supports us. And then we believe that for these lifestyle enthusiasts, it's important, as mentioned in the pitch, that they can see the product, that they can feel the product, as you wouldn't really just buy such a gadget online, I'd say, if you cannot convince yourself that you actually like it, that it feels well. So it's definitely the offline retail that will allow us to reach this customer group.
I mean, I presume, I'm pretty sure you've done a lot of market research. Where is the maximum consumption, or the adoption of sparkling water? In bars, restaurant, or on the go? Because can your bottle, for example, be used in restaurants, be used in bars, where a lot of people consume sparkling water?
I'm actually not sure about the numbers, how much is consumed off trade and how much is consumed in restaurants and bars. But I'd say that it will probably not be allowed to take the Bottle Plus into the restaurants and just produce your own sparkling water there. It's kind of taking your own food into the restaurants, and that's also not allowed. So it's really a product for on the go, when you're outside, for your everyday life, when you're doing a city trip or going cycling, whatever. Also just going to office. I mean, a lot of offices in the meantime, they have fountains where sparkling water is available too, but still many offices don't have that. So that is really where we see our USP and the product to be used.
I do agree, but let me say, this is just speaking out of my mind. If you create something that can be adopted for a restaurant, for example, when I go to the restaurant, right? I don't, as I say, I'm not a big consumer of sparkling water, but many friends of mine, they use it, of course, probably the majority of them. And if sometimes I drink sparkling water and they open the bottle, after 10 minutes, it's almost done. I mean, there is no any more fizziness inside. So if you have something for the restaurant, for example, where you have your bottle on your table, just push, and it's absolutely fine. So you can even think into do something for a restaurant, which is, I do believe, is not on the go, maybe it's on the sitting, but it can go very well. Why not?
Yeah. So you mean that actually the restaurants offer a Bottle Plus on the table, and not that the customers actually take the Bottle Plus to the restaurant? That's what you wanted to say.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's actually an interesting idea.
Exactly.
We get the input from many people that we should maybe at a certain point start focusing on the B2B business, and restaurants might also.
I do believe, because I'm just talking because I'm not sure at all, but I do believe the majority of water is consumed in local, so maybe it can be a huge market for you. Now I'm very curious with how you can adapt the sparkling water to taste and all that kind of stuff. Because for example, if you can add in flavor, right, it's going to make a huge change. How are you going to address this point?
So, as Christian mentioned in the pitch, that's really our vision. But as it's our vision, we did not invest too much brainpower in it yet. Also, at the moment, our vision goes more that you have one adapter for taste and the other one for sparkling water. So not combined, at least in the beginning. All the people then say, why not combined? You love and tasty sparkling water. Then that would revolutionize. Of course, yes, we will try. However, at the end, the space in the adapter is limited. And in the end, you don't want to carry a huge adapter around with you. But yes, so, we're also right now actually starting research work with a university here in Switzerland to start producing or to start get a know-how about the taste, about the vitamins, about the minerals a person needs during the day. And then we really are planning to address this problem really soon and then create this adapter. But at the moment, we have not yet designed that adapter.
Yeah, I mean, I can see something similar to e-cigarettes, right? Just change it and changing flavor without, of course, any damaging. But, e-cigarette is something different. The water, it can just be good for the body. Can we talk a bit more about the business model? Are you going to make money?
The business model is built on 3 pillars. The first one, in the short term, really focuses on the sparkling water bottle and refilling station, so selling these products. Then in the midterm, we are focusing on these future adapters and upsell them either on existing customers, or they will also allow us to enter completely new markets, for example, the taste market. And then the third pillar is subscription services. So for each adapter, we have to go to offer subscription services. For example, for the taste adapter, we could send a monthly taste set back to the customer's home. And maybe have to add here that one subscription service for the sparkling water adapter, we are actually planning to launch together with our market entry. So this will be an online cylinder exchange system. There are already certain companies offering this service, and we are talking to various of them at the moment to find a partner for us to implement this solution on our web shop, such that the customer can not only order the product but directly also order online the CO2 cylinders. So the customers will get it sent back home to their home, and then they can just return it and receive a new set. Or we can also offer this kind of exchange in a subscription model. So that's the plan for the market entry together with the bottle.
What about scaling? I mean, you will start in the Dutch, and after we're going to move. I mean, how? You already said where we want to go. How you want to go there? How do you scale your business when you have the money, which you already have it? So you're going to do a C stage, and after you need to scale, right? Although it's not for tomorrow, it's very important to know how you scale. The first 1, 2 years, the first one. The second is already not that easy. The third one is so challenging. It's extremely challenging because when you start, you are maybe 2, 3 friends. Everything's fine, no cost, nothing, right? Everything goes on business. Nothing to start paying wages. The second, the third, and the problems comes the HR. Everything comes after 2, 3 years, right? Because you become a company. You need to manage people, manage money, manage business plan, manage supply chain. You need to manage so much. How do you scale your business?
Scaling is a good question. It's our internationalization strategy is not yet set in stone, because it's just so difficult for us before we even entered the first market to already think about the next markets. And we strongly believe that we have to take the learnings from our market entry to then really shape and define the strategy to enter further markets. But we definitely want to have an aggressive strategy, and this is also the reason why we want to enter the US market after the DACH region. If everything works well, then we want to enter the US market in summer 2023. And I mean, as we have a consumer product, it's really just about setting up the distribution in these new markets. And the good thing for us is that the CO2 cylinders that you need for the refilling station, you already have a worldwide distribution that we don't have to take care of. So we basically really have to focus on the product, bringing it to this market with a good distribution strategy, and then the gas supply will already be there. So that will for sure help us with the scaling.
And how is going to be distribution? Are you going to directly selling or, sorry, how do you sell it?
We will, on the one hand, sell it T2C on our web shop. We will work together with online retailers with the web shop at the market entry. And then, I mean, if the market entry will go well, then we believe that we can also enter the offline retail quite soon. And with this, also cover all our target groups.
How did you come up with this idea?
A bit random, I'd say. I love sparkling water. I always used to bring along with me my reusable water bottle that just allows me to fill tap water in. And because I didn't want to buy PET bottles anymore when on the go, so I just had this reusable water bottle. And then at a certain moment, I just thought for myself, why shouldn't this bottle allow you also to make sparkling water out of the tap water? Because you can also do it at home with a soda stream, right? So it's basically just taking the concept and making it smaller and putting it into a bottle. And I did a bit of market research then, and I've seen that such bottles already exist, very new on the market actually, with the single-use cartridges that I've shown before. And I just didn't like the concept because, yeah, you don't produce plastic waste anymore, but you produce this metal waste with the CO2 cartridges. So I started to brainstorm, and in the end, also together with the team, we came up with that solution with this integrated and refillable gas tank that really works without any waste production.
You're racing, you're done already with Kickstart, your pre-seed angel round. You are going through now the seed. How are you going to manage this money? How is it going to be used?
A big part of it will be used for the tooling. So upfront cost of the mass production. Then we have to finance our first batch too, where we think that we will start with 10,000 units. And then of course it's also R&D. We need to bring the product from where we have it now until it's fully industrialized. This will also be around 100,000 Swiss francs that we expect, and together with the tooling and the first batch, this will already cost us 1 million. And then we also want to ramp up marketing in summer. We have to pay a bit of salaries for ourselves. Yeah, these are the main cost drivers. And then also, of course, the patenting will cost a bit. Also, bigger parts will only be due in 2023. And certifications, that's another important point for us to consider.
What's the stage of the patent now? Pending?
Yeah, it's pending. Actually, exactly now, a year ago, we applied in Switzerland. So the priority year is over today. But we expect to get the decision just in a bit less than a year, so maybe 10 months or so. What we have done is we've entered the PCT procedure, which gives us now a 2-year window again to do the international patenting process.
Now, you're both entrepreneurs. What's the vision, guy? Where do you want to go? Where do you see your business in 5 years' time?
Yeah, in 5 years, we've hopefully not only revolutionized the sparkling water market, but the whole on-the-go beverage industry. We want to make it healthier, more sustainable, and more flexible with this modularity of our bottle that allows the same bottle body to be used with different adapters. And yeah, I mean, 5 years is a big big time frame. I don't know about you, Linus.
Well, my goal is that everyone has a Bottle Plus on their table. So behind you, Max, hopefully in 5 years from now, or I know it's background picture at the moment, but in the background should stand the Bottle Plus in 5 years.
All right, I will. Let me close with why investors should invest in you guys, because you are so young. So when investing in startup at this stage, you're investing on the founders. And there is nothing we can question about. Why they should invest in you, bet in you, and how do they will exit one day?
Yeah, we are young, but that makes us very hungry. That makes us eager to learn a lot. And we have to learn a lot indeed, but we, with our background and with our studies, we definitely bring along the skill set that we need to learn these concepts and to learn how to build a startup. And I mean, I think every investors who got to know Linus and me liked us, liked our personalities. It's a bit more difficult now during Corona, where you have a lot of online meetings, but really appreciate to get to know the people offline. And that's also when we can convince a lot of them to invest in us. And of course, I mean, it's a very attractive business. On the one hand, sparkling water, but the on-the-go beverage market in general. I mean, EROP has shown us what's possible. EROP is a German startup that works with taps. Also, it works with water, a water bottle, and a tap on top of it. And this tap makes you smell a scent. And when you drink, you have the feeling that you don't drink water, but for example, you drink a Coke or water with lemon. And they have raised 60 million euros in 2021 alone. So it just shows the potential that such devices for sustainable and healthy water consumption on the go has. And I mean, in the end, an investor wants to make profit, and we will hopefully reach break even in 2024, so be profitable quite soon.
Linus, you want to add something?
Not much to add. I believe, and I'm sure that we can enter as nicely as EROP did, and yeah, we're convinced that we will certainly make money very soon and big numbers. Yeah.
Christian, Linus, thank you so much for coming to BizTalk. It's been a very great pleasure, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Max.
Thank you, Max.
Take care.
It was a pleasure to be here.
My pleasure.